Welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and I am going to be doing an in-depth character review of Ray. I just did the First Order TIE Pilot, and he is a major DPS character for the First Order, and so I wanted to do the opposite of First Order, which is Resistance, and I wanted to go ahead and do the highest DPS for Resistance. So Ray, obviously, right out the gate, is one of the most well-known characters in the game. I think everybody has either farmed Ray or knows they should farm Ray. She is a light side character. She's an attacker, and she's one of the best. As far as a single target attacker, someone who targets one character, not multiple characters, she's hands down the best. She is in the Resistance, and she is a human. Now, for the purpose of this video, I do have her level 80, max 7-star, and gear 10. She has 3 slots open for future development. And I have her modded okay. I actually have pulled her from my arena team and pulled a couple of her mods off for another character. So her modding is, I would say, just at par. I could really trick out her mods better, but for the purpose of this video, I'll tell you what you should be doing with her, because obviously she does a lot of damage. And her initial power is just over 7,200, and of course her speed is lightning fast, tied for first at 164 with Leia, so she is naturally out the gate going to be a very, very fast character. And she, for gearing, I already told you she's max geared on gear 10. She's just north of average on the purples at around 740 purples, which isn't horrible. Honestly, that is a relatively easy grind in comparison to some of the other characters in the 800, 900, or 1000s. And her raid gear is only 3 pieces, so that's average. Raid gears are right at 3 pieces. So she's about average or just north of average for gearing, so she should fly up in gear pretty decently if you are focused on her. Now, she works well on a Resistance team, of course, but she works well on any team where she's protected by tanks, if you have tanks that are taunting. And she also protects herself through Foresight. We'll go over that in a minute. That way she can stay in the fight longer. So where do you find her? Well, she shows up in the guild store from time to time, and there are a total of 3 places that you can farm her: light side, dark side, and dark side. All, of course, hard battles. The first one's easy to get to, 2A. 5D on the dark side is pretty easy to get to, and then you'll have to be kind of more mid to end game to unlock the 7B on the dark side. You've got to have a pretty strong team on the dark side, about level 75-ish on the dark side, to get to that last node. But the guild store, it drops from time to time. She is a slow farm, not nearly as slow as General Grievous or Darth Vader, but she's definitely, aside from them, her and Jawa Engineer are pretty hard to get. So I would definitely recommend getting her as the first character or second character out of that guild store. So let's go ahead and go through her attacks and abilities, and then I'll go over her stats and how I modded her. So the first one's Shifting Strike. I do have this at its max level. It was Omega'd. It's her basic, so it's, if you're going to do any of her abilities, this is the one that I would Omega first, because she obviously uses her basic more during battles than any other ability. It deals physical damage to a target enemy with a 40% chance to gain Foresight for 2 turns. So she's going to do a lot of damage, and then she's going to, half the time, approximately, 40%, almost half the time, get Foresight. And if you don't know what Foresight is, that's the little eyeball over her head, and when someone tries to hit her, they will miss, and Foresight will go away. But it is basically a get-out-of-jail-free card for her, so she doesn't take damage either from AoE or from direct DPS. So that is the way that she protects herself. And this is on her basic. So every single time she's smacking, she has almost half the time she's going to give herself Foresight. And that Foresight's for 2 turns. So if she's targeted that first turn, she'll lose it. But if she's not targeted, she'll still have it for that second round, which is excellent. The second, Leverage, I do recommend, if you're using her, to Omega all of her abilities, starting with the basic ability, and then going to Flurry of Blows, and then to Leverage last. So this would be the last one that I would do. It has a cooldown of 4, and it deals physical damage to a target enemy. In addition, Ray gains Foresight for 2 turns if she doesn't have any positive status effects. and offense up for 3 turns if she does. So it's a win-win situation here. She's going to do physical damage to an enemy, and she either gets offense up or foresight. So she's either going to do more and more damage because of the offense up for 3 turns, or she's going to continue to give herself foresight. And this foresight, there is no percentage. It is just a and or. You either get foresight or you get offense up. If she has no positive status effects, then she's going to get that foresight. And if she has positive status effects, she's going to get that offense up. So either way, it's a win-win. The foresight's excellent. Her basic's going to give it to her. If somebody like a B2 or something like a Sunfac hits her and takes away status effects, positive status effects, then of course she's going to go ahead and give herself that foresight back. So it's really a self-protectionism. I love that. And if somebody hasn't targeted her and she still has the foresight over her head, then it automatically defaults will give her the offense up. So basically it's like a check. She checks to see if she has that positive status effect she gave herself. If she does, she gets the new one, offense up. And if she doesn't, they'll go ahead and give her the offense or the foresight all over again. So it's really, like I said, self-protection, keep her in the game. Very, very cool, shifting strike and leverage. Now, Flurry of Blows is the #1 singular DPS move in the entire game. It is the most damage that you can do to one target at one time from one character. This is an absolutely devastating shot. It can nearly one-shot kill, one-hit wonder anyone in the game, with the exception of maybe a couple of tanks. We're talking about a handful, 6 tanks or so in the game that can't be one-hit wondered. Otherwise, she has the potential of one-hit wondering about anybody. This is absolutely amazing. I would definitely Omega it if I was using her right now more. I used her in the early to mid game a ton, and I used her up until just recently. I switched my team out in the arena about 2 weeks ago, and that is when I pulled her. But up until 2 weeks ago, I was using her, and I still use her in Galactic War sometimes. It's extremely fun to just one-hit shot another character on the other side. So what is Flurry of Blows? What's it all about? Well, it deals physical damage to a target enemy twice, guaranteed, with a 55% chance to do damage a 3rd time. So half the time it's just going to be a triple hit. As a friend on Facebook says, a triple mollywop. Mollywop. If Ray has any positive status effects, and we know she's going to give herself foresight up, she's going to give herself offense up if she doesn't have foresight up, and she's going to probably be on a team that's giving buffs such as Admiral Akbar or Leia or someone who's going to give her those positive status effects. So if she has any of those, the little green boxes over her head, she's going to deal damage an additional time. Now it says the hits after that first damage deal reduced damage. So the first hit may be 12,000, and then the next 3 maybe 5,000 apiece. But if you get 4 hits, you're talking about, 25,000 or 27,000 on that. The most I've ever seen a Ray on a Flurry of Blows hit for is about 36K, but she averages between 28 to 35,000 on this shot, 28 to 35,000. And so that is awesome. And she's fast, so she takes turns a little bit faster than most characters. So, and again, she's really a self-protectionist. She tries to keep herself in the fight as long as possible. So she is a bit of a glass cannon in the sense that she doesn't have much health. So obviously any health you can add. I did add my set bonus of health 5%, not a whole lot. And I did do critical chance, which I would recommend doing critical damage. Now look at my mods. They are a hodgepodge. I told you I pulled some of my mods off. And so I don't even have my 3rd set that I could have on here. But I just wanted to make sure that when I use her during Galactic War, she's got some better stats. So I went ahead and added this one up here to the top left in the transmitter. Always offense on the primary stat. Secondary stat's not that good. This is not a mod that I would have her on if I was using her in arena right now. And then the middle left, of course, is always defense. It did give her a little bit of speed, which is fine, and some protection, which is fine. Those were great secondary stats. On the bottom left, it was protection. That only makes sense for her as she is squishy. Try and get her to stay in the fight as much as possible. On the top right, I did critical avoidance because if anyone's going to hit her with critical damage, I really want to reduce that critical damage that's coming to her. The rest of it, not so much. And then I added this one because it was plus 36% critical damage. So I gave her critical chance in a mod set bonus, and then I gave her critical damage in the hollow array. And of course, this one happens to have 15 speed on a secondary. That is, this mod is definitely destined to go to someone else at some point, but for right now, I threw it on her. Again, it ruins getting a mod set over here, but for now, it's just what I used. I would recommend using a critical damage in this slot though for her, just as I recommend either speed or critical avoidance in this top right receiver. And then on the bottom right, this one could be, you know, tenacity or potency traditionally, but for her, because she is so squishy, I did give her protection just to make her a little buffer, and then it had plus 10 speed. Again, this is a pretty awesome mod. Again, putting this speed mod here and this critical damage mod here ruined the chance of putting another set, but I probably would have just done health anyway, and that would have been only another 5% bump. So not the end of the world. Again, this isn't perfect, but it worked out okay. Let's go ahead and look at her stats. Again, you know, she's a DPS character, damage, real high damage, and she's got that evasion. So agility is going to be where it's at for her. Her health and protection combined is around 30,000, which is enough that she could be one hit wondered by another Ray. But her health and protection is high enough that for the most part, especially if you're not going against a Ray, she's going to stay in the fight, especially with the foresight that she gives herself to evade those attacks. Her speed starts out really high at 164. I went ahead and buffed it by 30, so she's at 194. That was not difficult to get her to nearly 200 speed, and she's going to definitely take a lot of turns. Her critical damage is at 186 currently, which is great for her because she crits a lot. Potency and tenacity, not so much, but the tenacity is over 35%, so, you know, about a third of the time she'll resist those negative status effects. She does have a health steal, and anytime you have a DPS character who does a lot of damage, they tend to be lower on health. That's kind of the trade-off. The health is lower, damage is higher, and so when they can recover a percentage of the amount of damage they're doing, you know, when she does 30,000 damage, she's getting 3,000 health back. That's a large chunk of health for her, and that's because she's doing so much damage. So she's really going to try and keep herself in the game through the health steals. So that is awesome. Her physical damage, if you looked at my first order TIE pilot, he was actually up in the 2,800s, almost 2,900. So her physical damage is actually lower than the first order TIE pilot, but he does a single or double shot. He either hits once or twice, and his special ability hits for, you know, double damage at 20k. So he's very consistent, but Rey, if she doesn't have negative buffs over her head, you know, the red boxes, the red over her head, she will actually end up doing more damage than he does. And her armor penetration is great. Her armor is okay, not bad at all. It, you know, normally around 23%. It's currently 26%. And the rest of it, nothing to write home about. So I do want to go ahead and test drive this Rey, and I figure the best place to do that would be a mod battle, a mod challenge. Just because it's 5 rounds, it gives you a better chance to really test these out. So we'll go into resistance. Now, I don't have enough resistance. You can see I haven't developed the bottom one at all, and Finn not so much. I do have Poe up there pretty good, Rey up there pretty good, and I'm just now starting to work on the resistance pilot, and so this is the one I'm currently working on, trying to get him geared up. But I really only want to take 3 characters in, the 3 that are purple, and so we'll go ahead and do this tier 1 on the left, just so that way, for the sake of getting through it, I can get through it. So let's battle and see what Rey is all about with 3 characters only. And she can really hold this battle all on her own. She really does not even need any help. She's absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and do a basic whack over 13,000 damage. Now let's go ahead and do a double. 19,000. So 13,000 at the beginning, and she gave herself foresight. Resistance pilot also has foresight, which means that if he was to attempt to hit her, either one of them, it would be a guaranteed miss. They would miss them. So 13 on the first, 19 on the second. Let's go ahead and throw a taunt up, why not? And when his taunt goes up, he has a chance to expose the opponents, which means they take more damage. Let's go ahead and do a triple. And that was Awesome. It showed the last hit of 16,000, and they're exposed, so they're going to take more damage. Here's a single, and he had foresight, so he missed, because those pilots give them their own foresight up. And a single, whap. And that one did not crit, but still did over 7,000 damage. That is an excellent video, or excellent damage, I'm sorry, excellent damage of a character. An excellent video, what the heck. All right, let's do a double mollywop. And that one wasn't a crit hit either. Boy, I can't talk today at all. It's crazy. All right, let's do a triple. I think this should totally and completely take the resistance pilot out. Oh, no crit. You know, definitely I had her modded with critical chance real high, and I highly recommend it. And I took those off to put on another character. My Wedge and Biggs combo really stole most of the good mods off of her. So unfortunately, she's not critting as often as she used to. But you can see she still is capable of doing a lot of damage. Let's do this. Wow, that was great. And let's do a double hit. Get rid of him. Triple. Awesome. And she gave herself foresight again, of course, which I love. I know it says 40% of the time she gets foresight, but she really gets foresight a lot in the battles. Oh, Captain Phasma's by herself. Gave herself foresight, so she's going to be protected. Let's see if Phasma tries to hit her. Nope, gave herself advantage up. And totally and completely missed because she had advantage up. So because of the advantage, or because she had her foresight up, so she didn't get hit with that speed down. And a triple to end it. So there you go. I think the only thing about this video that was a little bit sad is I am used to seeing her hit for 28 to 35,000, and she does it often. Since I've pulled all her good mods and put some of these secondary superficial mods, she's definitely not critting as often, so I do apologize. I should have put some, for the sake of the video, some additional mods on here, but you did get to see her test row. I will tell you, she's amazing. She's the highest DPS character in the game for single targeting. She is good in every area of the game. And for a Galaxy Star rating, I've got her at 5 stars. The only thing that hurt her Galaxy rating was her farming, but she is capable of being farmed in 3 nodes, as well as the other store that's in the in your team store. So you can get her for sure. She's a little bit harder to get, but she's worth her weight in gold for sure. She's a long-term character, so make sure that you go out and get her. I would definitely put her on a high priority. Now, if you are doing droids, then Jawa Engineer will take priority over Rey all day, every day, because Jawa Engineer will ensure that you win your battle each and every time. So make sure that you prioritize correctly. But if you're not using droids, or droids are a secondary thing for you, make sure Rey is the #1 person that you farm out of that. As always, have a wonderful afternoon. Keep your gaming on. Warrior out.